A revolution that will ensure one passport for Africans. A revolution that will ensure one currency for Africans. We want to say to CLC Julius Malema, Deputy President Flourish Bible, and the entire leadership of the EFF, that you have started something that our fathers started before. The likes of Thomas Sankara, the like of Steve Biko, they all stood in the same direction that you are in today. Let's continue to hold together. Let's continue to pursue total economic freedom in our lifetime. Let's continue to unite our young generational leaders in Africa. With this, those visions that you are outlined in negotiable pillars of the EFF can be achieved across Africa. We believe that you have started a revolution that have inspired us. In Liberia, we are inspired by the EFF resilience. We are inspired by the EFF commitment to total economic freedom. We are inspired by CLC Julius Malema resilience to fighting corruption. And this is what in Liberia we are doing everything possible to follow suit like you are doing. This is why we committed during the EFF second MPA that we will be fielding candidates to participate in the upcoming senatorial election. And we remain committed to doing so because this is a framework that the EFF has asked us to subscribe to. We want to say, may God bless CLC Julius Malema. May God bless Deputy President Flourish Bible. May God bless all of the leaders of the EFF in South Africa, because what you are doing in South Africa is now spreading across Africa and inspiring young generational leaders, to emanate your good example. We want to say thank you. May God bless you. May God bless Africa. And we want to say happy birthday on behalf of the EFF Liberia. Happy birthday. Celebrate your birthday in a grand style. Enjoy the day as we continue to pursue total economic freedom in our lifetime. Thank you.
On behalf of the Economic Fighters League, I bring you Pan-African goodwill from Ghana on the occasion of the 7th anniversary of EFF South Africa. Our commitment to the revolution is unconditional, and we remain hopeful that the EFL and EFF will find a shared path in this walk to liberation. We recognize that the EFF is practicing or preaching Pan-Africanism in one of the most difficult places on the continent. We in the Economic Fighters League have taken note, and we take inspiration from your courage and fearless defense of the truth, even as it appears unpopular and unfashionable. We also continue to preach and live the ideals of Pan-African solidarity. The EFL will continue to reach out in solidarity. We wish the EFF well and look forward to an EFF government in a South Africa that is structured for the people, in an Africa that is united. Keep the fire burning, comrades, until we are all free. Long live EFF, long live EFL, long live Africa. Happy 7th anniversary.
Thank you very much. I'm Comrade Babu Owino, Member of Parliament in Kenya and the Secretary General of Kenya Young Parliamentarians Association. I would like to take this opportunity in joining the Economic Freedom Fighters Party, EFF, in South Africa to celebrate their 7th anniversary. EFF, as a revolutionary party, has managed to bring together the youth in Africa. They fought for the interest of men and women, both in Africa and in South Africa. I'd like to wish EFF all the best in their future endeavors under the leadership of Comrade Julius Malema, who once said that the youth are the future of a nation. Viva EFF, tunapenda EFF. Afrika tuungane pamoja. Asanteni. Tibim, Amandla.
Today marks a very important day in the history of South Africa and South African political parties, in the sense that on a day like this in 2013, the EFF was born. And as the EFF celebrates its 7th birthday and 7th anniversary, we, the South Sudan Young Parliamentary Caucus, under my leadership, would like to extend our warmest of wishes to the EFF and to tell them, let them just hold on steady, and not divert from the trajectory and the things they've been pursuing, especially for the African people, democracy being one of them, and fighting the vilification of the black African man, especially in South Africa. Pan-Africanism should be championed. It is a must and it is inevitable. And today, we want to reiterate our support to the EFF under the able leadership of Honorable Julius Malema. And together, we'll realize and, actualize and harness the dividends that Africa can produce and give to its people. Africa needs to be seen for what it is and how it is. And far from the negative narrative which has been portrayed that Africa is downtrodden, which has led to a low self-esteem, we South Sudan on this day are very happy and blessed.
Le démocratique RDT, en sigle, est fier de votre mouvement économique Freedom Fighter, EFF, surtout de votre engagement pour vous réapproprier votre destin et votre avenir. En ce jour grandiose que votre mouvement politique EFF célèbre sa 7e année d'existence, le RDT, notre plateforme politique et électorale, ne peut que se joindre à vous pour partager votre joie en célébrant ensemble le vrai bonheur de l'émergence de la vraie résistance que nous menons ardemment dans un même élan sur le sol africain pour écrire le page de notre glorieuse histoire commune, celle de nos peuples respectifs. Nous saluons votre lutte et soutenons votre objectif de reconquérir la liberté économique de votre pays et par ricochet celle du continent africain. Chers camarades de lutte, le RDT reste à vos côtés pour résister aux néo-impérialistes par la nécessité de reprendre notre destin à main, l'idéal pour lequel nos héros, Thomas Sankara, Fidel Castro, Etienne Tshisekedi, Nelson Mandela, Patrice Emery Lumumba, Mzee Jean Désiré Kabila et tant d'autres avaient combattu, que votre leader Julius Malema et nous-mêmes sommes résolus à atteindre pour le bonheur de notre peuple respectif. Nos terres, nos emplois, c'est maintenant par notre propre effort. Our jobs, our lands, now with our power. Amandla, Angawetu, Asibuye, e Africa, Asibuye, que vive l'EFF, que vive le RDT, que vive les grands leaders du tshisekidisme et chef de file de tous les tshisekidistes, Félix Antoine Tshisekedi Tshilombo, président de la République démocratique du Congo.
I salute the Commander-in-Chief, Comrade Julius Selo Malema, the leader of the movement, and the entire membership of the Economic Freedom Fighters. I today realize the date when this great movement was formed by the revolutionary leaders in the South African struggles, which altered the terrain in governance in the country on the 27th of July 2013. The formation of the Economic Freedom Fighters helped to strengthen and deepen democracy in the country. This is a party whose voice channels people to think of alternative new ways of solving socio-economic problems faced by society. A party with a vision and mission of radicalism, leftists, anti-capitalists and anti-imperialists, which all serve the poorest of the poor, the landless, the unemployed, young and old, all for the economic emancipation of the underprivileged people in South Africa. Under the able leadership of the Commander-in-Chief, Comrade Julius Malema, the Economic Freedom Fighters rose from 6% triumph on the national votes in the 2014 national elections to a resounding 11% in 2019. rewarding a 44 seats in the National Assembly. Their voice in Parliament and at the provincial levels has shaken the South African political pillars and emphasized that they enjoyed the people's support. The resounding clarion call by the Commander-in-Chief for just and democratic governance in the African continent, especially away from the repressive, parasitic, absolute monarchist Swaziland, shows your unequaled internationalism. I wish to congratulate and celebrate with you the commemoration of the founding of this great people's movement on the 27th of July 2013 and look forward to a continued harmonious revolutionary relationship with yourselves. And indeed, I applaud the leadership and the entire party for the friendship that they have established between myself and them in the formation of the new baby, the Mario Masugu Foundation. Long live the Commander-in-Chief, Comrade Julius Malema, the leadership and entire party membership. Long live from Comrade Mario Masugu, head of the Mario Masugu Foundation in Swaziland. I thank you.
I would like to take this opportunity to wish the EFF a happy anniversary. Within a very short space of your existence, you have been able to put on the agenda of our society quite a number of critical issues. You are admired throughout the African continent, largely because of your principled stand of Pan-Africanism. We from the Institute of Election Management Services in Africa, IMSA, wish you well. May you grow stronger and stronger.
Congratulations to the economic freedom fighters on your 7th year of existence. You have stayed your course and have made an impact on the South African political landscape. You have been true and true to your political philosophy, and that is a mean fist. Thank you for being flexible also when it comes to issues of national interest. We have worked with you guys, and I was impressed in particular when we took a decision to remove the former president in this country. And also when we joined hands in making sure that there is a new legislation where people are allowed to vote secretly. Yes, I can count as many, not forgetting to remove these guys about Limala Masela in running our metros after 2016 elections. Once more, well done and happy birthday to you guys. Thank you.
Joins the millions of the EFF supporters, its ground forces, the membership, the leadership in all structures in celebrating your 7th anniversary and in wishing you good future revolutionary years and struggle. Anyone who denies that EFF have made a difference in our politics must be living in a fool's paradise.
7 years ago, you comrades in the economic freedom fighters came out into the world and declared your intention to engage in the struggle for economic emancipation of the people of South Africa and by extension, Africa. We salute you 7 years later as we see you growing stronger and bolder, saying things which people do not want to say yet ought to be said. We hope and pray that you shall continue with your struggle. A luta continua is the clarion call. Amandla is another clarion call. Maibuye is yet another one. Keep on.
Fellow fighters, we must mark this 7th anniversary of the EFF by committing ourselves to the struggle for the emancipation of Africa from the chains of colonialism. We must never get tired of fighting narrow nationalism that seeks to make African people fight each other and make us ignore the true enemy which controls the wealth of this continent and exploits all African people. It can never be the fault of a poor person that you are poor. It can never be the fault of exploited African that you are unemployed. The only way we can change the racist system which treats Africans like servants who must fight over crumbs is if we unite. We must disregard colonial borders that were put in place to divide us. We must unite to build an integrated African economy and achieve the vision of Thomas Sankara, Patrice Lumumba, Julius Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah of an independent Africa. We must unite to build a continental economic emancipation movement that will develop African economy and liberate Africa from the chains of imperialism. Comrades, in May 2020, we celebrated 57 years since the formation of Organization of Africa Unity. While the OAU is celebrated, we should all admit that the African continent is still not united. Almost all, if not all, African countries are still economically tied to their former colonizers. All African countries are still neo-colonial entities with no true independence and sovereignty, which they said must be guarded when the OAU was founded. We owe an apology to Kwame Nkrumah, Haile Selassie, and many others of those who said Africa must unite or perish. Our call for the unification of the African continent, as demanded by Kwame Nkrumah and all progressive Pan-Africanists, remains. We are unapologetic and unwavering in the call for the unification of the African continent because as long as we remain with this unavailable small African state, then we will never succeed. We will continue to be in the state of underdevelopment and poverty. If the African continent does not unite, we will continue under a neo-colonial system where our resources are exploited by the Western powers and recently China. We call on all progressive formations in the continent to unite in a continental-wide economic emancipation movement that upholds the spirit of Pan-Africanism. EFF is willing to support and associate with formation in all parts of the African continent which believe in the following values: commitment to Pan-Africanism, which aims to ultimately integrate the African continent; commitment to the African agenda defined by the return of the land, mineral resources, and economic wealth to the ownership and the control of Africans; commitment to human rights and gender equality, including commitment to reject homophobia; no association with imperialist forces in terms of political agenda and funding; commitment to democracy and regular elections; commitment to progressive internationalism; commitment to the 7 non-negotiable cardinal pillars in the founding manifesto of the EFF in South Africa. We need to build a Pan-African movement that must contest and win elections in different parts of the African continent. There is currently not a single government in the entire African continent who is committed to the principle of Pan-Africanism. The African Union is a useless structure that has no capacity to provide decisive leadership in the African continent. We need to start with the building blocks for Pan-African unity, and this must start with adoption of a single African currency. We cannot trade amongst each other using the American dollar. The African Continental Free Trade Agreement must be implemented through a common currency, and that free trade agreement must not be abused by Western and Eastern powers of the world to freely trade in the African continent and later expatriate profits. Africa must build its own industries and trade amongst each other on areas of strategic economic importance and advantage.